Hi friends, welcome back to the Model 3 Man channel, and I have a serious question for you today. Have you felt that the Tesla over-the-air updates, or OTAs, have recently begun to lose their sizzle, have become not much more than bug fixes and fixes of previous fixes, and that serious features are becoming far and few between, and some of them are ones that should have been there 2 to 3 years ago, and they're only catching up now? And if this is the case, then what are the reasons for it? Stick with me to the end of the episode, and I'm going to share with you why I believe there are many more great things to come in the Tesla OTA program, and the reasons why we're seeming to go through this malaise, this leveling off of new and exciting features. When I share those reasons, you will actually be encouraged as we wait patiently. So welcome back. One quick announcement before we start, and here it is. Model 3 Man will never again sing. Sing on this channel. So you may remember that from time to time I've made some music videos, and often they feature Dragon Lady, Janine. Brother Joseph, bring the light, fast the night is fading. For as you are his daughter, you probably can tell how I know you. Feel fine anytime she's around me now. She's around me now, almost all the time. Many of you have enjoyed what I've put out, but some of you have rightly said that this channel is not necessarily the place for Peter's music videos. I took your advice. I've created a new channel. A temporary name is Model 3 Man Sings. I'm moving all of the videos across to there. I've got an exciting new video right now that I think is my best work. So if you'd like to do that and you'd like to help me out, would you go down to the link in the description below where I link to this new channel, and just do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notify button. I'm trying really hard to reach the number of 1,000 because that's the number you need before anything serious can begin to happen on a channel. So if you don't mind, go to the link, just hit that subscribe button. You can always not watch what I put up there, but I hope that you will, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Now, back to the subject for today. I believe that there's a lot of truth to the observation that OTAs, or over-the-air updates, have slowly begun to seem more like fixes and bug fixes and interim releases. And we're getting fewer and fewer major features and changes that are being offered to us. Now, that's not to say that there are none. For example, we've just got the latest update, which is 2021.32.10. There are some things that this brings to us. For example, in the immersive sound area of your audio, we used to have off, low, and standard. Now we have an additional feature. It's called auto. And what that does is the software kind of determines the music that you're playing and how much it would benefit by this immersive sound feature, and it adds the amount that it thinks. Personally, I don't think that's any benefit to us because I like to actually take control. If I don't want immersive sound, if I just want simple stereo, I'll set it to off. If I want a modest amount, I'll set immersive sound to low, and it will filter the sounds so that some of the higher sounds will go to the little tweeters above me, some of the other sounds will go to other speakers and the subwoofer, and it really just distributes based upon frequency differentiation. And if I set it to standard, it'll do a fairly strong version of that. So here's a new feature, but I don't really consider it worth anything. Some of you may remember the audio episode I did maybe a year or two back, And I asked them, can we not have presets for the EQ so that with our EQ settings for low, middle, high, maybe we can expand that to 9 frequency bands? Could we save them as presets? Could we re-invoke the normal flat level just by pushing a button? Nothing of that has ever come about. Seemingly that would indicate I have zero influence back at Tesla. But those are significant things I would love to see. This automatic surround feature is pretty useless. So that was one. The next feature that came in 32.10, I think this has been available for many of the modern 3s that have no radar. They've been able to turn on the internal camera, the one that sits above you, above your mirror, and looks down at you. And now we can too. And it turns it on to help the car determine when you're in autopilot, whether or not you're paying attention, whether or not you're reading text messages, or you're looking sideways, or you're engaged in an argument with your partner. It will then give you an audible alert. If you turn sharing off, it will not send those out of the car. It will not send it back to Tesla. But obviously, we're in the business of trying to help Tesla perfect the vehicle, perfect autopilot, perfect every system in the car. And so I like to encourage you guys to turn data sharing on. And some people have reported that with it on, they've actually not had the car nag them as frequently. When they're in autopilot on the freeway, normally it gives that big blue pulsing light and says, put your hands on the wheel. They've said that with the monitoring camera on, it seems that is much reduced. Then there was another feature, range display. This is something I literally asked for 2.5 years ago. I said, can we not just tap on the battery or tap on the range and make it switch from percentage to distance? Finally, we can do that. It's a useful change that we waited for a long, long time, but it is here now, so Peter, stop complaining. Now there are other settings like new language support, and that's always welcome because it means that Tesla is being introduced to much wider communities across the world. Many of them are based on vicinity, so some of the updates, I don't see them on my car because it says only available in China, only available in Taiwan, only available in Model S. And in the one before, 2021.24.10, that gave us a car wash mode where the car can be put into neutral and everything can be locked down, the wipers and the charge port door, so that the car can go through a touchless car wash. Now, I have a thing. I never intend to take my car to a car wash. The thought of either the brushes hitting the car paint or on a touchless, the pressure being so great that my protective paint film begins to peel off, I couldn't countenance any of those. So I always wash the car by hand. But for those of you that do, this was available in the previous update. Disney Plus channel has been added. The dash cam will now automatically record if you set it to when there is a safety event like a collision or somebody swerves into your lane. If you're using your phone's Wi-Fi, because you have such a generous cell phone plan, you can now keep driving and have your car still remain connected to your phone and able to give you traffic aware displays on your map or any other things you'd like to do in your car. What does that mean? Well, it means that the low-hanging fruit has already been plucked. And by that I mean there were some dramatic upgrades in earlier times. For example, when the braking distance was improved by at least 10%, when our range was increased, using the same battery, we managed to get more mileage because of software tweaks. So there have been some tremendous, we got Netflix, we got the entertainment part. We didn't have that in the beginning. So there have been very dramatic upgrades. There have been many over-the-air updates that have been significant. And now we seem to come to this period where I would describe it as we're in the doldrums. If you're ever sailing and you're in the doldrums, the wind has dropped. Let me give you what I believe to be the reasons for this. Reason number one, the low-hanging fruit has been plucked. It gets harder and harder to find things that are significant, that are worth working on. So maybe we need to make more suggestions. Maybe the engineers need to get more creative. Perhaps they need to look through their back catalog of suggestions from people like mine. So there is lots of scope for improvement. But here's the biggest reason. Right now, the obsessive focus of Tesla software engineers is on getting full self-driving beta out to more people, expanding the countries that are able to test it, getting that software button that says download beta software, download beta FSD. Now, obviously, this is only going to apply to those who have purchased full self-driving. I include myself in that category. But for those that have, we're sitting enviously watching 100 or so people in the US test their FSD beta, produce videos on it. And we're all saying, when is it coming to us? Well, Elon's given clarity. And here it is. When 10.1 comes out, that's FSD 10.1. Right now it's on 10.0. That was followed by 10.01. With 10.1, Elon is going to be allowing the addition of that button that allows you to request to become a tester, that allows the FSD beta to be more widely dispersed, although they have made it clear that is still going to be into the US and not into Canada. And that is the reason why I believe attention has been diverted from regular, exciting, over-the-air update features to full-on effort to get that full self-driving beta out to more people, and finally to give it to all those who've paid FSD in the past and to give them something for their money. So if you've paid for FSD, you might have paid up to $10,000 for it, and you're saying, I've paid money for nothing because there is no full self-driving. It should be happening soon. And I, for one, will be watching very eagerly when 10.1 comes around. Elon has also said that when you press that button and you request access to the full self-driving program, they are going to monitor your driving for 7 days. They're going to use what they call that insurance algorithm that checks the state of your driving, your speed limits, your general responsibility, and after 7 days of checking that, I guess that would be automatic, they will then give you access to the program if you're not a crazy driver. So it's getting more promising. It's just about here. I urge you guys to be patient, and I urge you as well to be patient with the lack of exciting over-the-air updates, and understand that setting priorities for software updates is difficult to do. You know, Canada has much, much more sedate, calmer politics than the US. I can remember 10, 15 years ago, we had an election, and one of the candidates in one of the parties was running against colleagues from the same party. And one of the colleagues said to him, "You just didn't get it done. You just didn't manage to do it." And this other candidate came up with this line.
Stefan, we didn't get it done.
This is unfair. You don't know what to speak about. Do you think it's easy to make priorities?
Leaders set priorities. Leaders get things done.
Whereupon the opposition parties immediately came out with election ads that read something like,
Stefan Dion, not a leader, not worth the risk.
"Setting priorities is hard," he said. That for Tesla, setting priorities with regard to full self-driving, with regard to other features, with regard to improving on their software, is a really difficult series of choices. But as far as Elon Musk is concerned, Elon Musk is a leader, and he does understand which priorities to set and which priorities to keep. It's just that his results take a little longer to actually accomplish. Oh, by the way, here's something that should interest most, if not all of you. SpaceX just recently launched, in fact, it was a few days ago, Wednesday, with 4 civilians, the first 4 civilians, non-astronauts, to go into outer space at a level much higher even than the International Space Station. The story of their exploits is on Netflix, and it's called Countdown. So if you have Netflix and you haven't yet watched Countdown, it is a fascinating account of 4 ordinary people. Well, in their own spheres, they're not ordinary, but they are civilians and they're not astronauts. They launched on Wednesday. They're coming down this afternoon as I make this video. And the story is fascinating. It's also a great advertisement for Elon, for SpaceX. There are constant views of Teslas. And I think it's great that SpaceX is pioneering bringing ordinary civilians into outer space. And of course, if you want to watch it, you do have to be on a Netflix subscription, but you can watch it in your car with the great speaker system that we all share. So thank you again for your ongoing support for the channel. It looks like the Tesla referral code system may have been discontinued. I'm busy finding out about that now, but you can help the channel by subscribing. And I thank you so much to all those who, through PayPal and through our PayPal link, are actually helping support the cost of running the channel and the cost of equipment that we have to get to run it effectively. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.